This was a very adorable episode of Ookami Shoujo. This is the romance I like to see. This is the romance I like to feel when I watch a romance anime. This episode, I'm starting to understand Kyoya's character a little bit more after this episode, and I actually have a little bit of a fury on Kyoya's character. I personally believe Kyoya is socially awkward. That's what I honestly think is going on. Kyoya got very embarrassed in this episode. Clearly, he was embarrassed majority of this episode, and the overall evidence in this episode of that is apparent. It's obvious that Kyoya is embarrassed to say, "I love you" to Erika. He clearly wanted to say it. He was about to say it like 3 to 4 times in this episode, but he fucked up the entire episode until the very end, which it was obvious he would eventually say it in this episode. I'm glad he did, but obviously, he's embarrassed to say things like that, and it might hint at other elements about his character and his characterization. He might be embarrassed when it comes to all things romance, and that might be why he's never really went out with anyone, why he never really had a girlfriend, why this is technically his first girl to be with, and that might explain a lot of elements, why he just doesn't know what to do. So, my personal belief is just that he doesn't understand how to, like, handle romance. Like, he's socially awkward when it comes to it. He's very shy. He's a very shy character, and it's obvious, and you can easily tell from this episode. So that's my 2 cents on that. I personally believe Kyoya, even though he's a dick sometimes, he hides his shy personality with that dick side. That's pretty much what he does. And, you know, there is people like that, pretty much like a tsundere. He's like a male tsundere. He hides his embarrassment through being an asshole to his lover. So, right there. Makes a lot of sense now that I think about it. So anyways, this episode, pretty simple. It's pretty much a date episode. Like, you have a birthday of Erika. This episode, she's going on a date with her lover, Kyoya, in this episode. And the episode had so many cute moments and adorable moments. Any fan of romance and any fan of this series was definitely just screaming for joy when they watched this episode, because it was adorable. It really was. I was in some moments of this episode, I was like, oh, that's kawaii. I was just like, I said that out loud when I was watching this episode. Like, when you saw the entire scene at the end, when he grabs Erika and hugs her and says, "I love you" to her ear, I'm like, dude, yes! Just like, shit, dude. Like, oh. That's the fucking romance, man. I haven't felt romance like that since, I guess, Oh Hardy Rod. Now, that romance is what I like to see. That, oh, felt great. We can argue about Shigatsu and its romance and stuff, but Shigatsu at the moment hasn't really had much romance compared to Ookami Shoujo. So, I'm just gonna say, episode, it was great. It was fucking a great episode. Like, I mean, the comedy was great. Animation, as always, to Ookami Shoujo is ridiculous. It looks really good. And usually romance slice of life series do look good. So, not going to complain on the animation. I didn't really even notice any animation derp. So, the only thing I could say I can complain about when it comes to this episode, whether it's animation, is probably the still frames. But even then, the still frames looked really beautiful. So, I'm not even going to complain there. Music, Ookami Shoujo. Fucking A. I love the music. I mean, it doesn't have as much atmospheric type music vibe to it as Oh Hardy Rod did, but the music enough really makes the scenes flow a lot better, and I just say I love the music. So, yeah, decent episode. Actually, no, it was a great episode. Not a decent, it was a great episode of Ookami Shoujo, because you got that development with Kyoya, with him finally starting to fall in love with Erika completely, the way he acts, his demeanor, just everything about him. You could tell he's had a lot of progression since the very beginning. So tell me your thoughts in the comments below. I mean, how do you feel about this week's episode of Ookami Shoujo? Sorry about it being a little bit late. I was focusing on that anniversary video and been really busy today replying to a lot of comments from that video and stuff. So you all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.